Hey there, I'm with Ronnie from Southwestern Oklahoma State University, and today I'm going to talk to Ronnie about leading through crisis, a practical response framework for higher ed teams. Ronnie, introduction and what was the problem?
So I come from Southwestern Oklahoma State University, which is a small regional university in Oklahoma. Okay. Which means we also have very limited resources. So what happened is like we were hit with some unfortunate, like heavy crisis in the last semester. And these crises are like something which we have never seen before. So we had to develop a framework in which we can use our limited resources and the smaller team we have. So we developed this clear framework. Since we are a small lean team, we needed a lean framework that we could actually rely on. So our framework starts with C, as well the word clear. So we always wanted to confirm the facts before we go to the media or before we go to the internal audience or external audience or whatever it is. Then we need to link the right teams who will be working on it. This could be HR, this could be safety and police, this could be the administration, the student affairs, or whatever it is. Then we establish a decision path based on the facts and the right teams we have. Then we address the audience, right? So the audience could be the internal faculty and staff or the external media or the general public. Then based on the feedback or based on the response we hear back, we review, measure, and recover and go through the cycle.
And we get the clear framework. I love an acronym. What are the do's and the don'ts or the avoids?
As for what we have seen online in terms of sometimes in communication specialists or marketing specialists, they tend to use this complicated jargons, right? So, but what we do and which has been super effective for us to always be simple and effective but in terms of communication. So those are some, if you think about it, we need to always use plain language, right? Then the message which comes out of the campus should be unified when it goes out to the general public or the media. So always we need to define who's going to manage what, who's going to collect what data, who's going to say what. So that's what we mean by different goals before posting or different goals before reaching out to the external audience. So, and always have this monitoring aspect so we know what are the general public talking about those kids. So this is an interesting part. Like always, we need to avoid. We should not speculate. We always need to go by the facts we have, and the offices should work in a coordinated way. When I say offices, the internal offices, yeah, because if it's uncoordinated, then the problem is there will be different messages going out. In a very unfortunate case, in that case, that will cause a public uproar, right? Because if you be contradicting messaging,
Sounds good.
yeah,
How do you measure it then?
the outcome, right? What is happening? So the first one is the speed. Okay, is how fast we are in collecting the facts, linking the right thing, and creating a path, then communicating the facts out or the news out, right? So we measure the speed and we try to improve it. The longer we wait, there is a chance that there could be public restlessness, right? So we need to be very fast on that, and the message which comes out should be of high clarity. That's where we need to use plain language, and it should be consistent within teams, both internal and external. And we should check the reach. It could be the local news media, the state news media, the national news media, depending on the crisis, the level of crisis it is. As I mentioned earlier, we need to always monitor rumors and confusions, and we need to measure coordination, how coordinated our teams are, collect feedbacks from them, that adjust our decision path based on that as well. Then recovery is nothing but once a crisis is done, right, we take a step back as an internal marketing team, then discuss what went wrong, what went good. Do we need to change anything in this framework, or is our framework good for an upcoming crisis? Is what those are the stuff in there.
Great job. Crises are always, will drive anxiety.
Yeah.
And just having a framework
Yes.
gets you into action, gets you to dealing it. So great job.